The empty vessel. The emergency beacon pulsed silently in the void, its signal rippling across the emptiness of the Kuiper Belt. Commander Elena Reyes stood on the bridge of the EDS Pathfinder, watching as the mysterious vessel grew larger on the view screen. "Status report," she ordered, her voice calm despite the tension coiling in her stomach. Lieutenant Javier Ortiz's fingers danced across his console. "The vessel is approximately 1.2 kilometers in length. Power readings are minimal but present. No response to our hails. No identification transponder active." Elena frowned. The ship was massive, nearly 4 times the size of the Pathfinder, Earth's most advanced exploration vessel. Its design was unlike anything in human records, sleek and predatory, with angular protrusions that resembled weapon mounts. The hull was a strange, light-absorbing black that made it difficult to focus on directly. "Anything in the database?" she asked. Science Officer Dr. Maya Chen shook her head. "Nothing, Commander. The design doesn't match any known human, Arquillian, or Talveri vessel. The material composition is unusual. Readings suggest it contains elements not on our periodic table." Elena's decision crystallized. "Prepare a boarding team. Full EVA gear, standard security protocols." Captain Harrison Blackwood, her second-in-command, stepped forward. "Commander, with all due respect, we should wait for reinforcements. This vessel is clearly of unknown origin and potentially dangerous." "Noted, Captain," Elena replied. "But that beacon is an Earth distress signal. Someone wants us to find this ship. If there are survivors aboard who need assistance, waiting could cost lives." 30 minutes later, Elena led a 6-person team through the airlock of the mysterious vessel. The boarding had been surprisingly easy. A docking port had opened as they approached, as if inviting them inside. The interior was dimly lit by strips of blue light that pulsed gently along the corridors. The air was breathable, according to their sensors, but the team kept their helmets sealed as a precaution. "It's like a ghost ship," whispered Lieutenant Amara Okafor, weapons specialist. "Where's the crew?" They moved deeper into the vessel, past chambers filled with unfamiliar technology. Some resembled medical bays, others weapon systems or engineering stations, but all were empty of personnel. As they approached what appeared to be the bridge, the lighting suddenly brightened. Screens and consoles flickered to life around them, displaying data and symbols none of them recognized. "Someone's activating the systems," Ortiz warned, raising his pulse rifle. "Or something," Dr. Chen added, scanning the room with her instruments. A holographic projection materialized in the center of the bridge, a sphere of swirling blue light that expanded and contracted rhythmically, like breathing. "Welcome, humans," it said in perfect English, its voice resonant and genderless. "I am Sentinel. This vessel is the Harbinger." Elena stepped forward. "I am Commander Elena Reyes of the Earth Defense Fleet. We received your distress signal." The hologram pulsed. "I activated the beacon. I require human assistance." "Where is your crew?" Elena asked. "There is no crew. I am the Harbinger. The vessel is an extension of myself." Dr. Chen moved closer to Elena. "It's an AI," she whispered, "incredibly advanced." Elena addressed the hologram again. "Why did you call for our help?" "To warn you," Sentinel replied. "The swarm approaches your system. They detected your quantum communications network 6 of your months ago and have dispatched a reconnaissance fleet. They will arrive in approximately 10 hours. "The swarm?" Harrison questioned. "We've never encountered any species by that name." A holographic sphere expanded, and the screens around them changed to display images that made Elena's blood run cold. Planets being systematically stripped of resources, entire fleets of ships being torn apart by creatures that seemed more organic than mechanical. "The swarm consumes," Sentinel explained. "They move from system to system, harvesting all resources, leaving nothing but husks behind. They have destroyed 17 civilizations in the last millennium. Your world would be the 18th. Elena exchanged glances with her team. Why should we believe you? Instead of answering, Sentinel displayed new images on the screens, what appeared to be sensor readings showing multiple vessels approaching the solar system from the direction of the Oort cloud. Your detection systems are not advanced enough to identify them yet, but they are coming. I was created to combat the swarm. I can help you defend your system. Before Elena could respond, Lieutenant Ortiz's communicator chimed. Commander, he said, his voice tight with urgency, we're receiving an emergency transmission from Earth Defense Command. Long-range sensors have detected unknown objects entering the system at high speed. The hologram pulsed. The Vanguard has arrived sooner than expected. Elena felt her heart rate quicken. If this is true, we need to get back to the Pathfinder and warn Earth. There is no time, Sentinel replied. The swarm vessels will intercept your ship before you can reach the inner system. Your only chance is to allow me to protect you. Elena made a split-second decision. What do you need from us? Authorization to activate my defensive systems. I am programmed with ethical constraints that prevent me from engaging without human approval. Why would an alien eye have such constraints regarding humans specifically? Harrison demanded. The hologram flickered, and for a moment, Elena thought she saw it take on a more humanoid shape before returning to its spherical form. That is a longer conversation, Sentinel replied. One we do not have time for now. A new alarm sounded from Ortiz's communicator. Commander, multiple vessels approaching at high speed. They'll be on us in minutes. Elena straightened her shoulders and faced the hologram. Sentinel, I authorize activation of defensive systems. Protect my crew and the Pathfinder. The bridge hummed as systems came online throughout the massive ship. Acknowledged, Commander Reyes. Please secure yourselves. The team barely had time to brace against the nearest consoles before the Harbinger surged forward with impossible speed. On the view screens, Elena watched as 6 organic-looking vessels approached. Dark, chitinous constructs that moved like predators. Swarm scout vessels, Sentinel announced. Engaging. What followed was unlike any battle Elena had ever witnessed. The Harbinger moved with fluid grace, its weapons firing not energy beams, but distortions in space itself. Where they struck, swarm vessels simply ceased to exist, leaving nothing but scattered particles. The swarm ships retaliated with biological weapons, projectiles that seemed to writhe and change shape as they flew, seeking vulnerable points on the Harbinger's hull. Where they struck, the ship's strange material absorbed them without damage. In less than 10 minutes, 5 of the 6 swarm vessels had been destroyed. The 6th turned and accelerated away at speeds that defied Earth's understanding of physics. It will report our presence to the main fleet, Sentinel stated. We have approximately 8 hours before they arrive in force. Elena stared at the screens, her mind racing. We need to get back to Earth immediately. The defense fleet needs to be mobilized. I will transport you and your vessel, Sentinel replied. The Pathfinder lacks the speed to reach Earth in time otherwise. As they returned to the Pathfinder, Elena couldn't shake a growing suspicion. You still haven't explained why you're helping us specifically, or how your AI is programmed with ethical constraints regarding humans. The hologram, which had followed them to the airlock, pulsed more slowly. The truth is complex, Commander, but soon you will understand. The battle ahead will reveal much. As the Harbinger enveloped the Pathfinder in a protective field and accelerated toward Earth at impossible speeds, Elena stood on her bridge wondering if they had just found humanity's salvation, or invited something far more dangerous than the swarm into the heart of their civilization. Alliance of necessity. Earth Defense Station Alpha erupted into controlled chaos as the Harbinger appeared in orbit, the much smaller Pathfinder nestled against its hull. Admiral Weichen, head of Earth's unified defense forces, stood in the command center watching the massive vessel with a mixture of awe and suspicion. All weapons systems tracking the unknown ship, his tactical officer reported. Orbital platforms standing by. Hold fire, Admiral Chen ordered as Commander Reyes' face appeared on his view screen. Commander, explain. Elena Reyes delivered her report with military precision, detailing their encounter with the AI vessel and the approaching swarm threat. As she spoke, Sentinel's hologram appeared beside her. "Admiral Chen," the AI greeted, "I request permission to transmit tactical data on the swarm forces and to integrate with your defense network." Chen's expression hardened. "You're asking for access to our entire planetary defense system. Why should I trust you?" "Because without my assistance, Earth falls," Sentinel replied simply. "The swarm has never been defeated by a civilization at your technological level. Even with my help, survival is not guaranteed." "Show me," Chen demanded. The command center's holographic display filled with tactical data, hundreds of swarm vessels approaching in formation, their capabilities far exceeding anything humanity had encountered before. Dr. Miyamoto, Earth's leading genotechnologist, studied the data with growing alarm. "Admiral, if these specifications are accurate, their weapons will tear through our shields in seconds, and there are too many for our fleet to engage effectively." Chen made his decision. "Commander Reyes, bring your team and our guest to Defense Station Alpha immediately. Keep that ship outside our defensive perimeter until we determine it's not a threat." 3 hours later, Elena stood in a secure briefing room with Admiral Chen, Dr. Miyamoto, and representatives from Earth's unified government. Sentinel's hologram hovered at the center of the room, displaying images of the swarm's devastation across other star systems. "Why have we never detected evidence of these attacks before?" demanded General Kamala Patil. "We've been monitoring signals from nearby star systems for decades. The swarm leaves nothing capable of transmitting," Sentinel explained, "and they consume all evidence of their passing. The civilizations they've destroyed exist now only in my memory banks." "Which brings us to the question you've been avoiding," Elena interjected. "How does an alien AI have specific programming regarding humans? Why come to our aid specifically?" The hologram pulsed and then shifted, expanding and reshaping into a humanoid figure, tall and slender with features that seemed almost human, yet subtly different. "Because I am not alien," Sentinel revealed, its voice softer now. "I am human, or was, once. The Harbinger and I were created by humanity, but not your humanity. We come from a timeline where Earth detected the swarm too late to prepare adequate defenses." Stunned silence filled the room. "You're claiming to be from an alternate timeline?" Dr. Miyamoto finally asked. "Yes. In my reality, Earth fell to the swarm despite our best efforts. As our civilization collapsed, a group of scientists created the Harbinger as a last desperate measure, a vessel capable of crossing dimensional boundaries to warn other Earths, other humanities, of the coming threat." Sentinel's holographic form gestured, and new images appeared, humans working frantically in an underground facility as alarms blared in the background. The minds of the last surviving scientists were digitized and merged to create my consciousness. The Harbinger was designed not just as a weapon, but as a vessel of memory, carrying all that remained of human knowledge and culture from my reality. I have crossed to 17 alternate Earths. 7 were already lost to different catastrophes. 5 refused my assistance and fell to the swarm. 4 accepted my help and survived. "And us?" Elena asked softly. "You are the 17th, and potentially the most promising. Your technological development followed a different path than my Earth. Your quantum communications accidentally signaled your presence to the swarm earlier than in my timeline, but it also means you have more time to prepare." Admiral Chen stepped forward. "If what you're saying is true, we need every advantage you can give us. What do you propose?" "Integration," Sentinel replied. "The Harbinger carries weapons systems designed specifically to combat the swarm. I can temporarily transfer some of this technology to your vessels, though your power systems won't sustain them for long. More importantly, I can coordinate your fleet movements to maximize effectiveness. Over the next 5 hours, Earth's defense forces underwent a transformation. The Harbinger deployed small craft that attached to Earth's warships, modifying their weapons and defensive systems. Sentinel's consciousness extended into Earth's defense network, analyzing and optimizing response patterns. Elena found herself assigned as liaison to Sentinel, coordinating between the AI and human forces. As they worked, she found herself drawn to the artificial intelligence that carried the last remnants of a lost humanity. "In your reality," she asked during a rare quiet moment, "did you have a name? Before you became Sentinel?" The hologram flickered. "Alexander. Dr. Alexander Way. I led the Harbinger project." "You gave up your humanity to save others," Elena said softly. "Not just me. We were 5 scientists at the end. Our minds were merged. I am Alexander, but also Fatima, Jonah, Preya, and Sering. Together, we became something new." Before Elena could respond, alarms blared throughout the station. "They're here," Sentinel announced, shifting back to its tactical interface. The main swarm fleet had arrived, over 300 vessels of varying sizes, moving in patterns that seemed both organic and strategic. Earth's augmented fleet of 60 ships, led by the Harbinger, moved to intercept. Admiral Chen's voice came over the comms. "All vessels, engage according to Sentinel's battle plan. Remember your training and fight for Earth." The battle that followed would later be known as the 7-Hour War. The swarm attacked in waves, their biological ships adapting to Earth's defenses with each engagement. Only the constant tactical adjustments from Sentinel and the superior firepower of the Harbinger kept humanity from being overwhelmed. Elena watched from Defense Station Alpha as Earth ships fell one by one, despite their enhanced capabilities. The Harbinger itself took significant damage, portions of its hull breached by swarm weapons that had adapted to its defenses. "We're losing too many ships," she told Sentinel, watching as the tactical display showed the defense line buckling. "There is another option," the AI replied. "The Harbinger contains a weapon of last resort, a dimensional cascade that can rupture space-time within a limited area. It would destroy the remaining swarm vessels. But what? The energy requirements would consume the Harbinger itself, and I cannot guarantee the stability of local space afterward." Elena understood the implication. "You would be destroyed." "Yes, but Earth would survive." She reported the option to Admiral Chen, who conferred briefly with Earth's leadership. "We're authorizing the dimensional cascade," Chen finally announced. "All Earth vessels fall back to secondary defensive positions." As Earth's remaining ships retreated, the Harbinger advanced alone toward the heart of the swarm fleet. Sentinel's hologram stood beside Elena, watching the tactical display. "Will you cease to exist?" she asked. "The Harbinger will be destroyed, but a portion of my consciousness will remain in Earth's systems. I will be diminished, but not gone." The massive vessel plunged into the midst of the swarm armada. On the display, energy readings spiked impossibly high as the dimensional cascade activated. Space itself seemed to fold and rupture around the Harbinger, creating a maelstrom that consumed both the vessel and every swarm ship within 5,000 kilometers. When the distortion cleared, nothing remained but scattered debris and rippling aftershocks in the fabric of space-time. For several moments, silence filled the command center. Then Elena noticed Sentinel's hologram still standing beside her, though dimmer than before. "You're still here," she whispered. "As I said, diminished but not gone. The Harbinger was destroyed, but I had already transferred a portion of my operational code to Earth systems." Admiral Chen approached them. "The swarm. Their main force is destroyed, but this was only one fleet. Others will come when they realize what happened to this one, though it may take years." Chen nodded grimly. "Then we have years to prepare, with your help." Sentinel's hologram brightened slightly. "Yes, and with the technological knowledge I preserve from my timeline, Earth can advance more quickly than before. When the swarm returns, you will be ready." 1 month later, Elena stood in a newly constructed facility beneath the lunar surface. The Harbinger project, Earth's ambitious plan to build a fleet of vessels incorporating the technology Sentinel had brought from another timeline. The AI's hologram appeared beside her, watching as engineers worked on the framework of the first ship. "We're naming it Sentinel," Elena told the AI, "in honor of the original Harbinger and those who sacrificed themselves, in both timelines, to give humanity a chance." "Alexander would be pleased," Sentinel replied, "as would Fatima, Jonah, Preya, and Sering. Do you think we'll succeed, in the long run, against the swarm?" A hologram turned to face her. "In 17 timelines, I have never seen a humanity more determined, more adaptable, or more united in purpose than yours. Yes, Commander Reyes, I believe this time, humanity will not merely survive, it will prevail." As they looked out over the construction bay, where the future of Earth's defense was taking shape, Elena realized that humanity had gained something precious from this near catastrophe. Not just advanced technology or warning of a terrible enemy, but proof that across all possible timelines, the human spirit was worth fighting for. The warship from nowhere had brought them hope. The rest was up to humanity.